Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for everybody who has continued to watch. It's been amazing. I've just come up to the field and the cabin. Haven't been up here for 3 or 4 weeks. Had a failure on the storage of the pumpkins that I stored in the sort of shed at the beginning, then realised they weren't lasting, so moved them into the cabin to try and save them, but I was a bit too late on that. If you hear barking, I've just given the dog a new toy. Training's going really well, and now trusting him off the lead once we're up the field, which is really nice because it gives me a little bit more flexibility that I'm going to have him tied up. But today I'm going to have a go at digging up the Jerusalem artichokes that I planted last year. We've had a good few hard frosts. It's been quite cold now, so they should be at their best now. So I'm going to dig some of them up and see how we got on. I planted 12 tubers originally, and apparently once you've got them you can't get rid of them, so absolutely brilliant prepper staple. I did actually see them on the chefs on James Martin's show this week. One of the chefs did some Jerusalem artichokes that he'd grown, so I'm probably gonna copy a couple of those recipes. So anyway, let's have a little dig. Something's definitely been eating them. A bit tempted just to leave these little tiny ones in. Pipe came in. So that's our first lot of Jerusalem artichokes. Going to go and give them a wash. So I would say this is about half of what I've got to dig up. Started with 12 little tubers that size. Oh, there's a worm like that. But now that they're in the ground, won't have to rebuy them, and can obviously multiply them and get more if I want to. I knew I would do it at some point in the video that I didn't actually have my mic on, but basically came home, scrubbed the Jerusalem artichokes, and I've chopped them up with some parsnips, carrots and some sugar beet, and we're going to roast them off in the oven with a bit of rosemary. First of all, going to fry them off in a pan with a little bit of oil and some rosemary, salt and pepper until they have a slight browning, and then I'm going to finish them off in the oven at 200 degrees for about 20 minutes. They've started to get a little bit of colour on them now, so I'm just going to turn that off, get my pan out of the oven. And pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes on 200 degrees. So there's our roasted vegetables. Oh. Going to find a Jerusalem artichoke. I know which they are because they've got knobbly bits on. There's one there. Let that cool. Another bit. That's the roasted sugar beet. Artichoke. They're very soft, much softer than the other vegetables. Wonderful, right there. It's really nice. You wouldn't really know it's not potatoes if cooked this way. Could have got away with probably putting them in 10 minutes after the rest of the root vegetables. They haven't taken as long. I can see a little bit mushy because they're stuck to the bottom, but it tastes a bit between a potato and a parsnip, I would say. Well, I love parsnips anyway. But that's a definite triumph all-in-one sort of recipe. But like I say, I probably would either not cook them in the pan first, cook the root vegetables in, or if I was just roasting them in the oven, just add them after. Give them about 10-15 minutes in the oven. That's a bit of sugar beet. Again, the sugar beet's really lovely roasted, nice. Bit of parsnip. Definite triumph. So I'm going to move on to the mashed artichokes now. Oh, some bits there. Again, I'm not going to peel them. Just cut off any little bits that I don't want. I'm going to probably use a stick blender or something to mash them down because I'm leaving the skins on. When I saw them cooking them on the telly, they cooked them in milk, but he said you had to really keep an eye on them. They kept boiling over and stuff like that. So I am going to cook it in water, not quite covering the artichokes with water, let it cook down. And then when I mash it, I can add some milk powder to it. And that will alleviate that burning situation and wasting food if you've taken your eye off the ball. So that's the Jerusalem artichokes. I'm just going to, like I say, not quite cover them with water. So it's about halfway up. I put it on the stove, bring it up to the boil. I'm going to add some salt. So this is our cooked artichoke with the skins on. If you wanted to be all chefy, you could obviously peel them. Mine were quite a good size. I could have peeled them quite easily. They'd have been a nice white mash, but I've decided not to waste anything and to use the goodness and the taste that's in the skins. It just tastes like a really nice jacket potato at the moment. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of cream. I was going to add some milk powder, but I've got to open a new one and that's already open. I'm going to add a bit more pepper. A little bit of salt and a little bit of the whipped butter that I've made. Not too much. You can add a little bit at a time. So I'm not going to add anything else to it because I don't want it to go any runnier, but yeah, it tastes like a, I would say it tastes like a really just a really tasty jacket potato. You could also, you know, saute them off with a bit of onion. I think they will take on any flavour really. You saute them in with some onion and garlic. So like I say, not as appetizing as if you'd peeled it, but you have got all that extra goodness and no waste. There we have it, our pastry, our potato pastry topped pie, our roasted root vegetables and a side of artichokes. This is definitely a menu that would have been on the Depression era or ration book tables. A real wholesome, healthy meal. That's brought me to the end of the video. I'm going to be doing more recipes throughout the year from the ration book and Depression eras. when people were on that diet, they do say that the country had never been as healthy, eating all the vegetables and stuff. So it's definitely something I'm going to be doing more of this year. All the tips and tricks that they used of how to cut down on sugar and fats that weren't available, because it'll also help me on my diet, on my weight loss challenge for myself this year. It's going quite well so far, but obviously need the lifestyle change to go with it. So if I can still have the foods that I like, but with less sugar and fat in, that is absolutely brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, bye.